Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 6 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Today we are talking about the 9-part life framework area. And I was reminded yesterday, thank you, Chelsea Sachs, that I talk too fast and I flash things up and I don't always explain them or share them in the comments below. So I want to rectify that today. I use and have used for decades a 9-part life framework: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And I learned the brunt of this 7-part framework from Jim Rohn and Anthony Robbins back in the day when he was still Anthony. And I've used it ever since. Now, I didn't use it for about 2 decades in between when I was raising my kids and I was running through my life like a chicken with my head cut off. But following my sudden cardiac arrest, I came back to using it. And then with the pandemic and all the craziness that happened with that, I got some coaching and I added communication and confidence to the life framework. So I have a 9-part life framework now that I use to structure my life, my businesses, absolutely everything. And I do it in order to make sure that I don't absolutely positively neglect any area of my life that at least needs a little bit of consideration and attention every day, but every year for sure. So yesterday we rated our life framework areas, and I will be brave and go back and share mine. I think I was a little more generous this year than I have been in the past. I don't know, I must have been in a good mood after doing a meditation and a hypnosis or something. But I just write them all down because I'm going to refer back to that on a kind of regular basis. So I want to have done that. If you haven't done that, please go back and do it. I don't even think it took me 5 minutes to do for both myself personally for this challenge and the Supersize Your Business challenge. So I did it for myself, did it for my businesses. And they're not exactly the same, right? Because it's not just me in the other endeavors. With Supersize You, this challenge, it's just us that we're considering. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It doesn't matter what anyone else would rate us. It's how do we feel about it? Now, you may or may not use that information for today's challenge. Today, we're going to look at those same 9 life framework areas, and we're going to prioritize them 1 through 9. 1 being the absolute positive, most important area that you want to make sure gets handled this year. I almost said next year. I did say next year now, because that's going to be our emphasis for this year. And you are going to want to pay particular attention the month that we decide to cover that. Now, I'm leaning toward financial for February. I don't like doing it because it's a short month and there's so much involved in financial, but a couple of people have already voted and said, hey, I would like to do financial first this year as well. So maybe we'll go financial, mental, physical. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I would love for people to weigh in and say, with your priorities, maybe what I'll do is I'll look at the group's priorities and say, okay, whatever our strongest priorities are, that's the order we'll cover the 9 different areas and aspects of our life. And so that we make sure early on you get some wins and transformation in the areas that are most important to you. So today, same thing, same format set up already for Supersize You and Supersize Your Business annual challenges. And I will go through, and probably sometime before I go to bed tonight, I will rank and my priorities, right? We're going to rank them 1 through 9. 9 is they're all important. I don't want you to think that any area is more important than another. And I change all the time the priorities that I've set at the beginning of the year. It's just like having a budget for your household or your business. You make a plan, but life happens, right? And so you don't throw out the whole plan. You just tweak and change it along the way based on what happens in your life and in your experiences. So what are we doing today? We are prioritizing the 9 life framework areas, 1 being most important. We're going to deal with the top 3 right off the bat. So what I'd like you to do is share your top 3. I haven't looked at mine, but I would guess my top 3 are going to be financial, because I'm in a 6-month challenge for a particular new group, a new school community, and to make 10K months in that group. So financial is going to be one of mine. I think physical is going to be another, only because on a personal level, I let it slip a little bit last year, and I don't want to lose any ground in that area of my life. And then I think so financial, physical, and maybe mental or emotional. I haven't decided yet. I'll know when I do my priorities, but for sure, financial and physical are at the top. And I think part of that is because I didn't cover physical in the annual challenge last year until last. And I normally have done that first, the first month that we hop into, or it's emotional because February is like the Valentine's Day month, and we've got a bunch of birthdays in the family, so it's a emotional month. So I've covered emotion, I think, a couple years in February. It doesn't matter. We're going to cover them all. We're going to get to it all. We're going to make sure we do one thing every day this year to be a better human being, be a better us. And that's all I've got today. Any questions about this? Just ask, please. I forget sometimes that I've been teaching and sharing certain things for so long. I forget that everybody doesn't have the same level of understanding or experience with the tool. So I will try to remember to slow down, explain them more clearly, and then share a graphic in the comments below. All right. Any questions? Hit me up. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.